Hi team, today I'm going to show you how to do a partial volume with just one box of Amplify tape-in extensions. These are our nano panels, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do our 2 stairways on both sides to create that partial volume, which you can retail up to almost $300. And then I will show you also how to connect the sides to do a full volume application, which can retail up to $500. Quick and easy way to make your ticket price go up, and I want to show you how fast and easy it can be as long as we are doing all of our applications with integrity. So first, what I'm going to do, I've already brushed out my client here, and I'm going to go ahead and go on to stairway 1. So the first stair, we want to make sure it's 1 comb's height above the ear, and we are going to go ahead and make a horizontal parting right there, and we want to make sure that is nice and even. I am going to pull it all the way back just because I want to make sure that when I flip over to that opposite side, I am keeping the same line, so that way when we do connect the sides later, or we choose to connect the sides maybe a day or 2 after they decide they want more hair, we do have those in the correct place. So I'm going to go ahead and just get that up out of the way. So for the first stairway, it's always going to be back behind the ear. Whoops, drop that, always have another. We're gonna go right back behind the ear here. So with my client, that looks to be right about here, I'm just gonna pop this out of the way. You don't always have to do this. I like to, just to keep a cleaner parting. So I'm gonna take one of my little clips here. Whoops, pulling hair. I do have some leftover hair from the last time I used it and didn't put new tape on it just because I was using it on my mannequin. So we are going to take one of our wefts off of the warranty card. Make sure you keep that warranty card. I'm going to go ahead and pull the tape off the backing off the tape, and making sure that I'm not touching any of the sticky part here. We're going to go right up onto that line and go a full tape's height down, or 1/4 of an inch, and you want to press enough to let the tape do the work. With a mannequin, you will probably want to press a little bit tighter. So then I'm going to grab the extension itself and pull up and just ride that wave. It would also be potentially like a C shape. I am then going to pull that up. I don't want to be yanking it, but I do want to be able to see that tape right there so I know what I am doing. Next, I'm going to go ahead and go up and around here and connect the corner and just walk that right over and lightly press to make sure that it is touching. We have the hair stuck in between. Let go of that, and we're going to make sure we have great alignment. We're going to hold with our left finger and push across with our right. And there we go, we should have our first stairway done. Beautiful. So for our second stairway, this one is going to depend on your client's hair. As you can see up on the slide here, we do have 2 options, option A and option B. This is all going to depend on the client's hairline and their density, because what does density do? Dictates. Perfect, thank you so much. So we're going to do another comb's height above, and I'm going to do another horizontal parting right there. So for my mannequin, she does have a pretty thick or good hairline. She doesn't have any breakage, anything like that, which is shocking, right? It's a mannequin. But a lot of your clients will. So for this one, I am going to go just about a finger forward towards the face, still making sure though that I have enough space to do a comb check and make sure there's no hair back behind there. This one is going to go mostly right above the ear here, but I do still want, like I said, for it to be about a comb's check back behind. So we are going to make sure that that is about right there. So I'm going to go ahead and take another one of my tapes off of the panel. Take a panel weft off of the warranty card. Make sure we're keeping our mess nice and clean right there. We're going to go to the parting and go down the height of the tape, or 1/4 of an inch, pressing it, like I said, a little bit more firm just because it is mannequin hair. pulling that up, letting the hair or the tape do the work for us. Again, lightly pulling this up. You do want to be able to see the tape though, especially while we're learning here, so we know exactly what we're looking for. Again, we're going to make sure we're not touching the sticky part. We're going to go across, touch the side, and work our way over. Now this is the time too, if you do feel like you mess up, this is the time to go ahead and take it out and redo it. So I'm gonna pull this down. I do know, I could tell already that there was a few pieces of hair sticking out on this side. So this is the time to clean all of that up before you pressure activate. All of our tapes are heat and pressure activated. I already heat activated them before we started. So that looks good. So I'm going to just go ahead and, like I said, just apply a lot of pressure to add the pressure activation. So now on the third stairway, again, we're still going to make sure we're about a comb's height above the hairline. Now this will also depend on your client's part, their density, how much real estate you do have up on the top of their head. With my mannequin, I always part it down the center, and that is good practice for us as we are just learning both sides, back to back. So this is the only stairway where we can go about a 10-degree angle. Now we don't want to go any more than 10 degrees. Can anybody tell me why we wouldn't want to go any more than 10 degrees? Fantastic, yes, thank you. Just because we want the hair to be pushing forward and flowing forward, because where are we trying to put this volume? Right around the face, right? And then also, not to mention, we do want to make sure that we don't have any tension or any spots where we could be harming the actual hair and scalp itself. So I just did a slight angle right here with the highest point being up. And this time we are really just going to focus on the comb check in the front, making sure that we have enough space there. I'm gonna clip that out of the way so I know exactly. And it's okay if these are overlapping, as long as they do have that comb's height in between and you were able to get in there and wash, and your clients are able to get in there and really make sure that their hair is nice and clean, because we don't want any type of issues to arise while they're going through their extension journey. So again, we're just going to take off the backing on this tape. I'm going to go up to the section, and I'm doing just a slight 10 degree, still pulling down the same amount. I'm going to go over, again, pressing a little bit firmer than I normally would. We're going to pull the extension itself up. Again, let the tape do the work for you. You're going to grab that C or that wave right there. I'm just going to clean that up a little bit more. Wasn't loving the way that was looking. Beautiful. Again, go ahead and show the tape. You aren't always going to want to pull it up that far. It's really going to depend on your client and their density. Again, as always, density dictates. So we're going to connect on the left side. Go ahead and walk that over. Press slightly. I'm going to let go of that, pull down. I'm going to check the corners here. Make sure nothing is popping out. Beautiful. Okay, so then we're just going to go ahead and pressure activate that. Now we have our beautiful stairway. They are going to be able to pull their hair up and not going to be able to see any of the extensions. So what we're going to do now is we are going to pop over onto the opposite side. Say hello to Manny, everybody. So we are going to do the same thing on this side, where we are going to go a comb's height above the ear. Oops, getting a little crazy here, lady. We're gonna go about a comb's height above the ear. Again, do that horizontal parting. I like to do everything from right to left unless I absolutely don't have to. So go back to hair school and do that easy trick where you put your finger in the front and your comb will lead to it. Okay. Same thing as on the other side. We are going to start right behind the ear. So I'm going to go ahead and section this part off just so I make sure that I am not even touching that area, thinking about it at all. Going to go ahead and pull some more up just so I make sure that I have this space right here. Cleaning up my section, we want to make sure that we have very nice clean sections. Can anybody tell me why we'd want a nice clean section with our tape ins? Great, thank you. Yes, we want to make sure that we don't have any flyaways, any weird spots that could be pulling or making the extensions go a little bit wonky. It could be falling out earlier than we need it to be. We want this to last until they get their first reamp. So I'm going to go right up to the parting, pulling down about the height of the tape, adding some pressure, a little bit more than usual because this is a mannequin, pulling up, letting that hair do the work, pulling that up. Now, if you do press too hard on the tape, let's say if you were working on a normal human client, what might happen if we press too hard? Perfect, fantastic, thank you so much. So yeah, we could pull way more hair than we really need to, which could cause damage. Like I said, it could cause issues in between your reamp, and that is not something that we have time for because time is money. Fantastic. Another reason too is that we could stick this to their head. We are just trying to do, this is why we're using a low tension method for all of the reasons that we want to make sure that everything is nice and clean on the head and there's no damage. This one looks good, so we're going to go ahead and hold with our left, move forward. Is anybody here left-handed? No? Okay, great, thank you. If you were left-handed, all you would do is start from this side and do everything with the opposite, just because it would feel a lot better for you. So next I'm gonna do another combs height above that for our second stairway on this side. Again, you are going to want to make sure that you are looking at the density of your client to choose either stairway to B or stairway to A. Again, what we are going to do is just kind of work on the comb check, which is going to end up right in front of the ear, which would be stairway to A. B is going to overlap that first stairway just a little bit more. Make sure this is a little bit more straight. It's looking a little too angled for my liking. I'm going to go ahead and take another weft off of this warranty card. Now, we can call each one a weft. Now, when we put them together, that is going to be a panel. We don't have sandwiches here unless they're from Subway or Jimmy John's. Who's a Jimmy John's here? And who's a Subway? Perfect. Yep, it just depends on how I'm feeling. I want that chicken ranch from Subway or Jimmy John's, so every day. Add a little bit of pressure. I'm gonna pull this up. Beautiful. And then we're going to continue to ask our client, like, how are you feeling? You know, is there any pulling? Are you feeling uncomfortable? How is my pressure on your head? We always want to make sure that we are keeping the client's needs in mind. Of course, my client here cannot tell me how they're feeling, but I think that she's okay. She's got a little bit of a smile on her face. So I'm just gonna walk that over like I have been doing. I don't feel like I love the placement, so I'm just going to lightly pull that off. I did not pressure activate that yet, so I feel okay with just moving it a little bit. Again, like I said, we are going to use application with integrity. ATI. So light pressure, take down this clip. We're gonna check this out. I see a little bit of hair popping out on this side. You're gonna make sure that's out and it feels nice and good. Hold that left side, pull over, beautiful. Last one again, we're gonna go up to that third stairway, and this is the one, again, that we can go up to a 10-degree angle. Now, do we have to do a 10-degree angle? Absolutely not, we don't have to. It is a great option though to have if you do have someone that has a lot of, let's say, COVID hair loss, postpartum hair loss, some thyroid issues, or if they're just very, very thin around the face. Now you could just go straight ahead. I mean, my mannequin has a lot of hair, although it is a little bit thinner down at the bottom. So I am for sure going to be doing a 10-degree angle. I'm just going to take a little bit off the back here because I know that I do want it to angle back this way. Again, remember the front part of the panel is the part that we want facing upward. So for this one, we are going to go off of the comb check. And again, we just want to make sure that it is the height of the comb. Does anybody have any questions so far? Perfect, great. And again, we're just going to take the backing off of this, and we are just going to make sure that we are not touching the sticky part, and we're keeping a nice clean little pile over here, going to the part line, pulling down. Now, the reason that we don't go all the way up to the top, and I know people that love to highlight, like me, I do have a problem where I'm wanting it to go as high as possible because it feels good. And that's how I feel like if you've done if you've done tape-ins before, that's what you were taught, to give them some longevity out of there. You're going to get the same amount of time out of this as you would anything else because of the way that it's applied, as well as the technology of the tape itself. So again, we're going to go up and over, connect those sides, walking that over, light pressure, let go, pull that down. I'm going to check these corners, hold that down and pull over. Beautiful. Okay, now we have all this beautiful hair in there, and that is a quick 3-minute. It did take me quite a bit of time because I'm talking and I'm still learning, but you know what, that's okay. That's still 15 minutes of time that you can add on and make $300 extra. So I'm now going to show you how we're going to add on to do a full volume to add on potentially $500 to your average or to your retail ticket. So what we're going to do is we are going to find that Stairway 1, and we are going to go off of the part line, not where the actual tape is applied. Does that make sense to everybody? Perfect. And why would we want to go to the part line and not where the tape is applied? Okay, good. One of the main reasons we want to do this is because when we are going in for a reamp, if we have some back here that are a little wonky and we've already cut the tape-ins or the extensions, what's going to happen if they're a little bit off and we put them back on that placement board? Yes, we could put them in the wrong spot. We could be off on our placement. It just may not be exactly what we were looking for. And we may have some shorter pieces, and then we lost that hair, right? So I'm going to go ahead, just get all this hair up and out of the way. We are working in zone 2 right now, and this is our first stairway. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that this back hair is all back hair, hair in the back of the head is all up and out of the way. Now you can move your client around. If they're going to look down, make sure they stay looking down, or you're going to have them keep looking up. I'm just going to move my mannequin down a little bit so I can see a little bit better. So now that I have this nice straight line across for my partings, I'm going to go ahead and map out and see how many that I can fit. We never want them to overlap. We don't want them making out, but they can kiss. They can touch a little bit, but we do really want to try to keep a finger's width in between so they can get in and clean in between. So I'm going to just kind of map that out. It looks like we should be able to do about 2 back here. I would say normally I can fit about 3. My mannequin does have a little bit smaller of a head, and that is okay. Oops, and I just accidentally touched the tape. Definitely don't want to be doing that. So since I am going to be only using 2, I'm going to move over just a little bit more than a finger. So I'm probably going to go about 1/2 inch. Go up to the parting, pull down, press across. I'm going to lift this up, follow that curve there. I'm just going to use this guy while it's right there. I'm going to pull that a little bit out. Beautiful. Going to go up and over. Now with the partial that we just finished with the 2 stairways, that is going to take you about it should take you 1 box Unless, let's say someone has a really deep part and you only do 2 on one side, that is a-okay. Always bring out the hair, and if your client were to ask you, what's something that you could say with the leftover hair? Perfect. Well, I always like to say, you know what, I bring out more than needed just in case I want to add some more. They do not have to know. Do you, when you were in the salon doing a color application, do you write their name on the tube? Heck no. No. This is great for you. This is a money saving tactic. Keep a back bar of your hair. You never know if you can pop a few pieces here and there just for a client to try it out. Okay, sorry about that. I just had to knock on my door. So I'm going to go ahead and go in between these ones as well, doing about a finger's width between, going up to the parting, pulling down about a height of the tape or more. I'm just going to add some pressure, pull up, ride that wave or that little bit of a C. C as in C, riding the wave, you can think of it as a C, I suppose, as well. Whatever floats your boat, whatever gets your mind going. So we are going to connect the sides again. Move that over. Not loving the way that's looking. So I'm going to try one more time here. Now, if you were to do the hair all the way and you've applied the heat, you've applied the pressure, and you're still not liking the way it looks, break out that breakup tape, tape and remover, and remove the whole tape, re-tape, and try again. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It may take you a little bit of extra time, but it's going to be a lot nicer to do it while they're in your chair than if they were to come back a day or two later and something is slipping or something is bugging them. So now I'm going to go up into the second stairway, which is zone 1, and we are going to go ahead and do the connection back here as well. And when you are up in this area here, you really want to make sure that you are looking for any cowlicks, any parts that go really far back into the hair, anything like that. I know on myself, I personally have a part that goes pretty far back into the crown of my head. So what I do is we just do one on either side, and I leave that middle part kind of open so we don't have to worry about me seeing any type of tapes or anybody seeing my tapes and being like, oh my goodness, what is that? I don't want what she's wearing. Always be mindful. It's the same thing as when we are applying color, balayage, highlights, etc. It's all the same thing. We're always looking at those part lines. So for here, we do have a little bit more real estate now that we're up higher. So I'm going to go ahead and check this out, and we're going to map this. So to me, it looks like we're probably going to be able to get through about 3. We could even do 4, let's see. Beautiful. So like I said, just really pay attention to what your client's needs are. Make sure you're mapping out prior to, because you don't want to start over here and get over there and realize that you don't have enough space, right? So we're going to have to do at least a finger's width. Go up to the part, pull down. As you can tell, I did not pull down far enough on that one. And that's one that I will go ahead and go back and fix when I am done with this, because that definitely is way too close to the parting and could cause either some damage or just some pain while growing out for the client. Pin that up out of the way. Going to grab another weft, go up and over, connect and walk over, slight pressure, pulling down, checking on this. I can see, I knew I had a little bit of some uneven hair, so I knew that that was a potential to get in. Okay, hold that down, move that over. You know what happened? Like I said, I reused this tape and I apologize. But you should not reuse tape. I will tell you that right now. That one's a little wonky. I am gonna go back and fix that one. So, I'm gonna go ahead and move over to my next one, just for video purposes, because my client is here. But I would fix that in that exact moment, and I would give it a second to a little bit dry out a little bit. The best part about our breakup spray is that you do not have to wash the hair in between at all if you don't want to. As long as it's dry, it's not wet anymore, and you put the new tape back over it, you are good to go. There's no waiting period. There's no need to wash it out of the hair, because you should be able to get all of that residue out of the hair with our breakup spray, which is absolutely amazing. Checking both sides here. Across. Beautiful. I thought I was missing one left. I was like, what the heck is going on? So it looks like only going to be able to do about 3 on this one as well. Again, light pressure, let the hair do the work for you. Do not press hard enough. Well, all right, the last little piece here, we're just going to make sure that goes over. Light pressure, we're gonna check for any unwanted hairs poking out. Beautiful. Go ahead and go across there. And we're going to take all this out, let our client's hair down. Now I will tell you, I just got my first re-amp done, and holy cow, this is the most comfortable extension brand I've ever worn, and the most comfortable application I've ever had in my hair. I am obsessed, and I want everybody to wear it. I want everybody to know about it. So I am just in love. So there we have it. We would probably, since this is volume, go ahead and cut that to the client's length, or even just a tiny bit longer. It's totally up to you, your client, and how it looks. Definitely use your best judgment on that. Now, and just remember, we are only in zones 1 and 2 for this, and in that free zone to create the volume, when you want to add length, we're going to go ahead and go down to zone 3. I will go ahead and add some close-up photos of these tapes, and other than that, I hope you learned something today, and thank you so much for watching.